Greetings, King.
Greetings, positive energy to all.
Positive energy to all. Welcome to another mental Rolodeck live.
Another mental Rolodeck.
Yes,
Another one.
another one.
Another broadcast.
Absolutely. Friends or
Friend.
enemies. Yes, that's what we talking about. You created a live and you didn't even notice you created a live.
Friend. You said friends and enemies?
Friends or enemies.
Oh, friends or enemies. Oh.
Yes. What are the difference? What are the difference? But before we start, want to send a shout out to
Sean.
one of the dopest artists that's been working on the Mental Rolodeck logo for a while now. Sean, I want to give you your props. You did a tremendous work. I'm honored to be recommended to you, to know you, to converse, to interact, and props and homage to all that you do. You're a dope brother. And I'm looking forward to another live with us. You can tap in and tell the people a little bit more on every single thing that you do, when you do it, how you do it, and so on. So, homage to you, King. Gratitude for the brand new logo. You that guy. You got us looking spiffy right now.
Got it looking good, Sean. You know? I was like, man, we got to give Sean his props. I like this. So, I don't know how much. What did you say, Sean? We got to pay you what? Is $100 a day? Should we pay up for this logo?
Nah, man. Sean already got his payment, man. We take care of that. We don't owe no bills out here.
Oh, oh,
We don't owe
no, but
no.
on the serious side, you guys see it. You guys see it. That's all Sean right there. Mr. Rolodeck, we got a lot of talent. We got a lot of talent on this platform. And it's only the beginning. Yeah,
Absolutely.
when I seen this, I was like, yeah, man, wow. It was like a wow moment. I
Absolutely.
like it. You're like, oh, I didn't see it. No, I just noticed that. The one on the little side, he's got a little face on the other side.
Yeah, that's the yeah. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
That's deep. That's deep. It really represents.
It's only getting better, Rich. Only getting better, King. It is what it is. So, we got a few more guesses that's gonna pop in and out.
Pop. Sean,
I wanna
you gotta come in. You gotta come in. You gotta pop in somewhere around the line.
yeah, I'm gonna throw the link out there in the comment section. Matter of fact, we're gonna start doing things a little bit different, man. Shout out to all the essential workers, doctors, nurses, truck drivers, everybody that help us to flow on our day to day, from the creators, the artists, the teachers, the people. Can't forget the people. Without the people, this would not be possible. So, homage to everyone. You know, love is love. It is what it is. Rich, friends or enemies? What's the difference? Does it make a difference? Is friends entitled? Do they feel entitled? Or an enemy works harder to obtain respect and show their loyalty? Talk to me, man. This is your topic. Talk to me. Talk to me.
Well, look, y'all see the logo back there? That's what friends do. That's a friend. Whether it's a friend or not, that's a friend right there that needs to be a friend. Sean, that's the action of a friend right there. Yeah, actually look better than you, Jermaine.
Look better than me, man. Ugly me, man. I'm ugly me. He made me look spiffy, right? I know. He made me look spiffy. He made me look spiffy. Respect it. I respect it. I respect it.
But like that's why black people we call each other brothers because that's what brothers do. That's what brothers do. But what's the difference between a friend? I think I said at one time, is the line thick or thin between a friend and an enemy? A friend. Have you ever had a friend that turned into an enemy? Have you ever had an enemy that turned into a friend?
I think they go hand in
That's
hand, don't they?
that's a question though for everybody out there. Have you ever had a friend that turned into an enemy and an enemy that turned into a friend?
Interesting.
That line could be thin or thick.
The link is in
It's
the
good.
comment section. If you want to be a part of the show, just go ahead and hit the link, follow the steps, and come right in. We're open to positive energy and all form of concerns and talk. So yeah, I'll let your boys.
Yeah, that's a question for all of you though who just tuned in. Let us hear about your friend that turned into an enemy, and let us hear about your enemy that turned into a friend. Yeah.
Do you have an enemy, Rich, that turned into a friend, or have been a good
Wow.
friend of you, or have you had friends that turned into enemies? What is it? Talk to me.
Both happened to me. That's what made me think of it because looking beyond the surface on it, you know, that actually happened to me with the same person. Aha,
How
right.
that happened?
Because it was me. It was me. When I went through my depression and disease and sickness and my lowest state, so to speak, I really thought I was my friend, but I was really setting myself up the way I was eating, thinking, and acting. I really thought I knew myself. I really, I had an ego about myself. So, but it wasn't. But after I went through all of the turmoil, I wound up being friends with that enemy that was me. It was deep. That's how deep it was. It was my own ego that I was tussling with because everybody else was my problem when I was going through the turmoil. I was like, man, if it wasn't for that or her or him, my ex-wife, my this and this fool and that stupid person and that asshole and blah. And I
Yo,
found
man,
out it was all me.
getting hot in here, fam. Yeah, go ahead. I'm listening. Following you.
But it was me. It was I was that person. And I be and when I came out of all that turmoil,
Hmm.
I seen that enemy. I put it in the book that the enemy was the self, my selfishness, me, the self, the me, the I, the ego. You know, and once I let it go, I was best friends with who I am. I was best friends with my own existence, and that's where I am now. Uh, I understand that person deep down inside. I understand that I'm good, bad, and ugly. I accept myself as is, and yeah, and it was a deep thing. It was a deep thing, and once I let go of all of the, you know, conditioning that I was conditioned by, and let go, uh, stop holding on to my ego and let my ego dictate, I was free.
Okay.
And along with that, I let go of all of the food that was messing me up biologically and my thoughts that was uh, that was
But what I'm
interfering with my clarity.
but what I'm saying though is like what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but I had to go beyond the surface with because I see the
Okay.
enemy as me. I think the enemy is the ego,
So it's not
but
a
on
physical body then.
no, I didn't. I thought it was a physical body, you know, but it was me. But there is another friend, you know, your comrade, your your colleague, or somebody who um who you run around with, somebody who you confide in, another person. You know, that's another type of friend also. The friend that's not you. You can be your own worst enemy, but then there's
Absolutely.
another friend. There's another friend who who taps you on the shoulder and lets you know how ugly you're looking, and let you know uh, what somebody else won't let you know because they care about you. You know, it's that type of friend too. A friend that's so close to you that they'll let you know when you're looking bad, or they'll speak on something that nobody else will because they care about you. And there are enemies that won't say anything, that just want you to look bad.
Let me ask you this. Why is it when you sincerely care about a friend and you give your friend your opinion because you love them and you realize that they're not within their truth and you see the greatness within them and you want them to shine, so you approach them and you bring forth certain things to them, and when you bring certain things to them they act a certain way or feel like there's a form of jealousy that's resonated from you, but in actuality you want them to step into their truth, and you no longer feel the chemistry with that friend and you have to step away from that friend because what you really meant is not how that friend is taking it, or that friend thinks that you're competing with them or you're copying off of them or whatever. How do you deal with a friend as such? Do you still consider that individual as a friend?
You know, that's a perfect example, because that's the type of friend that can turn into an enemy, because um, you're doing something. It's like that word love. You know,
Hmm.
friend. That word friend is so abused, it's almost lost its meaning. We throw it around so much. That's my friend. That's my friend. You ever meet somebody and be like, "Yeah, that's my friend," blah blah. Then the next time you see him, "Oh, that ain't my friend. I thought blah 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 blah." You know,
We
I
got a
thought this.
question. We got a question. King said, Jaren said, can you be blinded by friendship?
What's the question?
Can you be blinded by friendship?
Um, I would say, if you're blinded by friendship, that's not a friend. That's deception. You know, with a friend is not gonna. There's not gonna be no deception with friendship. You know, it's not gonna be. I mean, that's why the example you gave, that question that you gave be- earlier, Jermaine. You know, you go to a friend and try to tell them what you see to help them. You're not gonna try to deceive them. You know, there's no hidden motives with, when you have a friend that has hidden motives. That's when you can be blinded. You know, where you can be blinded because of the motive is what blind. The friendship doesn't blind you. It's the deception and the motive blinds you. And and and, and that's the person who you may think it's your friend.
It's since we don't hold, I'm not gonna call any names. I'm not gonna give them any power, but I genuinely had someone I genuinely love and I genuinely respected as a friend. But within the same notion, I felt that that friendship was taken for granted. Like you questioning my friendship when I've been nothing but loyal to you is nasty to me. And especially when we knew each other for years, like over a decade. pretty much. I don't feel like you should question me because me going above and beyond for you, because that's what I look at friendship as. You know, if you're sick, if you feel some type of way or you need something and I can aid, I'm going to aid you because you mean something to me. And to have like people that just come into your life, like say that friend has a few people that they just met or whatever, and they value those people's friendship over what you had for years. That was nasty to me because I genuinely love this person. But sometimes, like the question King asked earlier, can you be blinded by friendship? Yes, you can be blinded by friendship. And like Rich stated, if there's a motive, the motive may not be upon you, it may be upon the other person, you know, but you just got to let people be them because if they show you who they are, that's exactly who they are. You can't take this so-called Christ off the cross for nobody. You can't vouch for no one because everybody grows on a daily basis. You know, if you have integrity and certain morals, you gotta stand within that integrity and moral as well. And it is what it is. And sometimes it doesn't matter how much you love or care for somebody. Sometimes separating from them is a greater value because maybe they're not supposed to go to the end of the road with you. Maybe they're just here to teach you certain things so you can push forward, and that's what it is. You know, sometimes letting them go too excel them as well as much as it excels you.
Yeah, and that is a very good question. Can you be blinded by friendship? And because people wonder about friendship like they wonder about the person they're in love with. You know, are they really in love with me? How deep is that love? And you have to ask yourself the same question. How deep is the friendship? And that friend, you know, what is your definition of a friend? But we always try to make people fit in our definition of love, our definition of friendship. But let the relationship tell you. Then you won't be so apt to be blinded by it. Let it tell you whether it's a friend. Let their actions tell you whether it's a friend because you know how you feel. You know how you feel. But let them show you that it's a friend. And and sometimes people have hidden motives. Um, they're your friend because of the money. They're your friend because you heard the terminology, the phrase "friends with benefits." You know,
Sometimes they're your friend for your energy. Sometimes you have dope ass energy and they see the benefit of pretty much gaining from your energy or whatever. And you can keep giving your energy. Like that friend could be down and out and they call you, and as soon as they left, they took your energy. Now you're down and out. That's why we got to stop attaching ourselves to things.
we got to be careful with claiming that word friendship and love because that's where the blindness comes in. You have to be aware of what the action of a friend. See, we get controlled by words. Oh, that's my friend, so I'm supposed to do it. But are they acting like your friend? When people talk to me about their relationship, be like, well, that's my husband. I got to stay with him. I said, well, is he acting like a husband? You know, we get controlled by the word. You ever watch the news and they be like, oh, he was stabbed 7 times, hit over the head with a bat, and they say a friend did it.
Would a friend really do that?
That's the enemy right there. And it's like the question you asked earlier, Jermaine. Um, you go and tell something to your friend because you care. You ever go to a friend and be like, in a man situation, hey man, you know, your girl, so and so and so and so. Oh man, you must be jealous. You want her?
Oh man,
You
that's
know,
funny.
that's that fine line. Is that my friend? You know, he shouldn't be upset with me. I done showed him proof about his girl. I just come to you as a friend.
But
You
look,
know.
but look, in certain relationships and certain standards, due to insecurity, your own friends will second guess your friendship. Your own friend will question if you're worthy or not. Um, King just asked a question: is every encounter a permanent one or just a lesson to help you achieve your next peak? Um, I believe that's what it is. Sometimes you have friends that see your potential and your energy resonate with each other, and you're supposed to help each other, and they balance you like you balance them, and they ride for you. They don't judge you. They flow with you. Whenever you call, they're there, and vice versa. And there's some people that's just in it to gain. And you can tell when they're in it to gain, because when you call, it's like every time they need something, you're there, but let you make it that you need something. Oh man, they never answer the phone. Oh, they always have an excuse. Those are the temporary stops that I'm talking about. And not everybody goes with you. And success changes friendships as well, because everybody has a part they need to play within your life, and vice versa. Can you be genuine or not? You have ulterior motives. A lot of people have ulterior motives, and
And
some
then you,
friendships are not friendships. Some associates or like a suicide bomber that's just there and waiting for you to go through that door, then they just explode upon you.
you
So
know,
yeah, go ahead, King.
sometimes a friend could be, you could think the friendship is deeper than the other person. It's like you can be in love with somebody, but they have to be in love with you too. You know, some people are just diehard friends, but their friend is not a diehard friend. But the other person is seeing themselves as friends with you. And if you're very deep about friendship, you should have another friend that look at it just as deep. It's just like if you're on a basketball team. If you're really trying to win a championship, everybody else on the team that's running with you should be feeling the same intensity. You should be feeling like you're you're you're
Yeah, them boys is on Rich's ass. Them boys is like, hey man, we gonna cut out your every speech. but it's crazy. King knows that's in the comment box that's watching. He's aware. He plays ball, and he knows when the team is playing like a team, because it doesn't matter who scores, and he knows being a part of the team, you're gonna get the ball regardless. You just have to wait for your opportunity and your turn, right? And that's what teamwork is, and that should be the same flow as a friendship.
Yeah, it should be, but some people treat friendship like a teammate, and a teammate is actually better if it is your friend. But because people say, well, what I say that publicly, people say, well, what's the difference? I said a teammate could be a loyal teammate to win a championship with you, but off the court, they're not your friend. You don't hang out with them or anything like that. But a real friend is like somebody who win a championship with you and you hang out with them. You know, it's that's a special thing. And but it depends on the people that's involved. Like some people is that there's all kind of relationships out there. As long as both of you are happy with it, I think it's a good thing. The same way with being in love with a woman or a woman with a man. If they happy together, that's beautiful. If you happy being friends with that person, that's beautiful. Some people are happy being friends with just a common goal. I'm not like that. If I call you my friend, you family to me.
Yeah, but the family don't come right away. The family comes with consistency, doesn't it?
Now with me, I'm not gonna call it a friend until it's like you got to graduate to that, right?
Cause cause family don't necessarily mean you actually have to have the same blood within you as well.
That's what I'm saying. And there's some friends that sit closer than a family member.
100%. 100%. one hundred
You know,
percent.
so you got
Well,
to
what's
be
the
careful.
difference? What's the difference with an enemy now? Like,
Yeah.
what's the difference when your friend wasn't acting like a friend? Now your friend becomes an enemy, and it seemed like they work harder for your loyalty as an enemy versus a friend. Because when they were a friend, they were entitled, and they're no longer entitled. It's like they working for the trust now. They want you to trust them.
I think the guy that asked that question about being blinded by friendship, I think that's where that comes into play. They was hiding something the whole time. They never was your friend. You ever be friends with a guy? I mean, that's why I tell my nephews, I don't have, but if I had sons, you know, and they wanted to play an instrument, I wouldn't let them play the same instrument because it's going to be even more competition. Now, if they wanted to play, I make sure they have two different instruments because the competition could mess up something. Or even like if you have a friend growing up, it's good that your friend that you hanging out with, especially have a different likes a different type of girl than you. If y'all like the same type of girl, it's gonna be problems.
Like, man, you lusting for my chick, man.
I mean, you talk about testing a friendship. Let both friends like the same girl.
No, one of the greatest things my older sister actually told me: if you really want to know who your friends are, pretend like you're dead or drunk. And it's the truth. I didn't get it when I was younger, but I get it now.
Hey, that's a deep thing. But I always say start with awareness. When you look beyond the surface and you really look with awareness, it's gonna tell you. You don't have to ask any questions. You don't have to do anything. It's gonna tell you.
A gratitude king, tell wifey I said salute, man. And, you know, flow and be balanced. Love is love, boy.
Yeah, man. Great questions, man. Have a great day.
He's a dancer too. He's really dope at it. He just recently got married, and one of the craziest things I've ever seen is actually him and his queen actually locking and popping from the aisle on the dance floor in symmetrical fashion, bro. That joint was mind blowing. I felt like that was really unique how he did it, when he did it, how they structured it together, and they look really beautiful. And I wanted to say to him, like, yo, I'm really proud of him, bro. Like, that's growth. You know what I mean? I've seen the growth, and he loved dancing and he kept doing it. And he's still doing it to this day. And I just want to say salute, you know, like black men is a powerful man, man, and they're even more powerful when their black queens are right next to them. So salute to you guys both, prosperity and abundance on y'all endeavors in climbing to the top and starting your family, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, and they both deserve it. Because they're an example of the, the wife is even better when she's a friend, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You don't ever want to not be friends before you actually go into a relationship, because both people not knowing each other can be problematic. And don't ever do certain things because things like, oh, I didn't have a dad, so I want my kids to have their dad type scenarios and whatever. Because don't get me wrong, like it's not to put anybody on Jump Street, but like at the end of the day, every woman is great within her own light, right? And no matter her greatness, that queen or female not may not be great for you. She may be great for someone else. And I yield,
Yeah.
Rich.
You know, have you ever met anybody who you talk to, and uh, especially an older person, a person that's around your age or younger, or you ever have met anybody that has no friends?
I can count on my finger how many of those I have. Because I even had people throw it. I even had like people trying to throw it in my face. That's why, look, you don't have that much friends, or you don't have any friends. And I'm like, you really got me getting twisted. I have I have I have I have one genuine genuine friend, and we don't speak on a daily basis, but whenever things need to get done, if he needs my aid, I'm there, and vice versa, right?
Mhm.
And the ones that you like we build and grow with, like you stated, those are now family, those are like brothers. So they're above the friend category, but I have one genuine friend, man. People that I call my best friend and friend, whatever, they don't even pick the phone up or call me. So I erase best friends terminology now. I erase it. Like dudes from high school, we were like this. And it used to be like, yo, that's my best friend or whatever. And he would say, I'm the best friend, and vice versa. Like we don't even interact to this day, but still salute them and keep it pushing. Still be happy for them.
Yeah, and for anybody that's listening, that's a good way to look at your friendship. You know, a good friend has been with you through, some of the best stories I ever heard. People say, "This has been my friend since second grade," you know, and they're in their 50s, and that's a beautiful thing. It's just as beautiful as people say, she was my sixth grade sweetheart, and I'm married to her now.
Mm.
That stuff right there is what it's all about, you know. And you got to sit back because that's the test of friendship. A true friend went through the trenches with you. Well, you
Some
want that
friends even get
person.
locked up with you too, Rich.
That's true. You ever have a friend you'd be like, man, if I'm in the trenches, I want that guy with me.
Yeah.
And they use their strength. They use their. And I tell my best friends, I help you whichever way I can, but I use my strength. If I'll help you out with music, I help you out with talking to you, being there for you, money. But whatever I have the most, that's what I give the most. But it's funny because life is so unpredictable. It, you see it, the older people get, the less friends they have. That's how this
Why?
life can be because we live in a self-centered society.
Huh.
You know, when you're young, you going out. It'd be 6 or 7 of y'all walking down the street, right?
Yo, especially when we was going to school, fam. Like I got what? What? And it's cold outside, like, and we just chopping it up. It's kind of like going through high school, man. Like going through high school for me was crazy, dude. Like
It's
it was
it's a
crazy.
beautiful thing, man. You be in high school, it'd be like 4, 5, 6 of y'all. Y'all can run basketball together. Y'all could choose up, and all the friends is playing. But and everybody get to their 40s. What's so and so? Man, I don't talk to that fool no more. Blah blah. It'll be like maybe one or two.
Like, and and sometimes it be over simple things too, right? Like, y- you'll be in a situation or whatever, and it's just a form of miscommunication. But that friend may not have the testicles to say, you know what? Let me take accountability. I was on balance and he was on balance. But I love the friendship so much, and I may not get certain things from him, but I love what he brings or she brings to the table. So because I honor and cherish that friendship the way I honor and cherish it, I'm gonna. This thing is too. Our friendship is too big for this small little shit that we going through. Like, let's squash it.
Yeah, and like I say, some of the best stories would be like, man, dude, we've been friends since second grade, and and I have a friend that I've been friends with since I was 2 years old.
Got still
You
cookies
know,
together.
oh, we fought and all of the young stuff, man, and it's crazy, man, and sometimes you can have a friend, right?
Hmm.
And you and they show you how devoted they are.
Yeah.
Where it comes to the point to where, oh man, you know, he's more of a friend than I thought. She's more of a friend than I thought. It's a deep thing, man, and it's a devastating thing because that friendship is like that word love. We throw it around so much too loosely. That when you call somebody your friend or you tell somebody you love them, that has to be earned. That has to be. You must have the awareness to see that is real. You know, you
You
must see it.
you can feel it. And
Yes, yes,
and don't get me wrong too. Like, there's some people that you might have met them yesterday, man, and the energy is tremendous. You'd be like, yo, where have you been? Like, you connect, and they generally don't want nothing from you. You just, you know what I mean? You resonate with them, and vice versa.
right. And that's the awareness. That's the awareness. Something that's the beyond the surface. I always talk about because walk around with that day in and day out. That's your heart. Walk around with that awareness, and you will always have a friend because if you walk around with that awareness, you will be lovable. And women always tell me when I talk to them about when they're depressed, talking to me about, oh, this guy, I seem to get the same guy, blah blah. I was like, no, just be you. In the same way with the guy, be if you lovable, you ain't got to worry about nobody loving you. Don't live through somebody else's eyes. Don't make that person your reason for being a friend. Your reason for don't make that person your peace. Once you peace with yourself, you lovable.
And
And
that's a thing. That's a thing too, King. Like, sometimes your friends may thinking like they can't figure you or know where your energy is coming from. Like, how can he be like that all the time? And people just naturally gravitates to him. They can't figure it out. And I say this to friends and enemies: the greatest form of revenge is success. And I don't go around holding anything up or anything against anyone, because that's me limiting myself. Because what you wish for someone is pretty much what you wish for yourself. So I allow everybody to be free. If we don't chill no more, if we don't talk no more, it's fine. I still wish you the best. I want you to climb high. You know, I want to see you at the top. I want you to shine like the star you are, and that's just what it is, because I'm secure within myself. I don't got to sit here and hate on you. There's no need to, because while I'm hating on you, I'm really hating on me. You got to be careful with this language.
yeah, you really got to be careful, especially the young people out there, you know, and even if you're in your 30s, that's still young to me. 30s and 40s and is young to me because it's like that's when you really see the friends and you see life. That's the ages where you see the older you get, the more messed up the world is. You see it, and you start to pay attention more to life. Because when you're young, you just into your goals and and you're pushing people out of the way, and I gotta reach my goals, and you're all talented, you're fresh and out there, and that's all good. But as you evolve, you start to see that it's not a fair world like you thought it was, and it's a self-centered society, and you really don't own anything, and you're just spinning your wheels. You have a lot of activity, but there's no progress. You can be active, but there's no progress. You don't really see anything growing. And one of the most tragic stories I heard about friendship was, and this is what I mean by the thin line between friendship and enemy, and how thick is, ask yourself, how thick is that line, or how thin is that line? I was talking to somebody who was depressed, and then he started going into why. This is a guy older than me,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and I mean, he was really older than me. He was like
Greetings,
65,
Keiko.
and he was like 65, right?
Mm-hmm.
And King, let me tell you, Jermaine, this is how deep this story was. His wife had passed away, right? And so he was telling me he was so depressed about it. So we going through it, we talking, and then I said, "Well, when did she pass away?" She passed away like, he said, almost a year ago, right? And
What?
I was like, almost a year ago. Then he went into the story. Now check this out. He said, um, it took him a while to clear her room because they was married for like, um for 40 years or so, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he said he finally got enough nerve to clean out her room, right?
Okay.
And so he started, cleaning out her room and all the stuff. He started going into stuff, and he said he started crying doing it because you cleaning out the room is going to bring back memories and all that. So he said
Copy.
he,
Copy.
so then he found this box of letters, man, that she was having an affair, dude.
Whoa.
Right,
Whoa. Did he go dig that grave up?
man. And it was like, that's why I say the line. One minute you depressed, crying, you miss her. Now the tears stop.
Whoa. That
and
is
not and not only that,
crazy.
the letters were showing that it happened like almost 20 years
Recently.
ago. No, almost 20 years ago, right?
Oh shit.
And she still had the letters, and the fan was with his friend.
Whoa. Oh shit. And that friend is still a friend today, correct?
Yes,
Or at that particular moment.
yes. He wanted to kill him.
Oh shit. But why though? I mean, I get it. I get it. At the beginning it hurts. It hurts. But why?
The lack of awareness, thinking that somebody is in your corner. See, sometimes we get involved with the word and not the action. That's my wife. She wouldn't do that. But that's not what your wife is doing. That's my friend. He wouldn't do that. But that's not what your friend. That's not how your friend is acting. You feel me?
Right.
And what would you do? And that's a question for you out there. What would you do if you found out your spouse died, and you find out that your friend was having an affair, you know, uh, 6 years before the death with her or him, and they still your friend?
Yo, man, listen, listen, listen. The first intent is the body. is to body that friend. But then when you look at it, it's like, was it worth it? Were you also loyal? Like, were you loyal based on everything that was transmuting with the relationship? Why
Yeah,
did
that's
why
that's
why
why I
did
went
she
through that
cheat it?
story. See, that's why I went through that story. It was the most one of the most devastating stories I ever heard.
That shit crazy. That shit is crazy.
But it's happening as we speak, King.
That shit crazy, King.
You know,
What um I wasn't even gonna ask the question like why people cheat, because I've done it, and it's not excusable, but there's a reason for it. Like, was in an abusive relationship, verbally and physically. You know, I talk my shit too. Um, but once you're familiar with something, it's like you go back to what's familiar to you, right? Especially when it feels like there's nothing has changed, and you feel like there's more natural love there versus the actual relationship. Because if you're in a relationship that the person continuously belittles you, especially as a man, that's degrading. Like, it's only but so long you're gonna remain in that relationship. You're kind of gonna look at it like, yo, you know what, my flesh is there, but my mind has already vacated the building. And that's why I did it. Like,
Elvis
and
has left the building.
yeah, and I've been loyal for a minute. Like, I don't take my relationships for granted, but I went to the familiarity, and it is what it is. So I have to hold myself accountable. You get what I'm saying? But sometimes we, as friends, we get red flags and we remain within the toxicity of that friendship. Because if I'm your friend, I want you to tell me like it is. Get what I'm saying? Don't sugarcoat shit for me. But if you're telling me like it is, you got to be able to take it as well, right? Can't be one sided.
I mean, sometimes the friendship could be your fault. You the one that chose somebody that's unevenly yoked with you.
Damn, Rich, you ain't got to. Damn, so, all right, keep going. I'm listening.
I mean,
Keep talking. I hear you.
sometimes it's your fault. I mean, I speak for myself too. Sometimes, I've always said, man, I want a great woman, and I know other people say it too, but I put myself in it, be like, man, I want a great woman, intelligent, that can feel me, the vibration, we on the same energy level, and then that happens, and I find out that, man, I thought I was ready for that. Man, she too nice.
but didn't King say that in our last live? He said sometimes you got to know when you're ready from when you're not, and if you're not, just let the person know. That goes for friendship too, doesn't it?
I think that's the good thing about relationships. Life is about relationships. You have a relationship with your career, your kids, and you have a relationship with a woman. See, this is you can't know yourself until you're in a relationship. The truth of you comes out in relationships. Your relationship on the basketball court, the truth of you is going to show how determined you are, how good you are. Your relationship with music and performing, the truth is going to come out when you go on stage. You can talk all the shit you want, but when you go out stage on your perform, it's going to show.
Yeah, it's gonna show in your vibration how you move with the crowd. If you get your words, your lollygagging, your energy is off. Whatever, you're not feeling it. Yeah, it does show. It does show 100%.
Right. The relationship is what shows the real you. I mean, when you isolate and you're walking by yourself, you can make a whole chart, you can make a whole collage of words and posters. But when you get in a relationship, you ever see these speakers, these what they call them, these motivational speakers, right? And
Hmm.
then you open a newspaper and you find out, oh, so and so in jail, motivational speaker to beat their wife up. The real you comes out in relationships. If you're jealous, it's gonna come out in the relationship. If you're loyal, it's gonna come out in the relationship. Some people are just one person is just not enough for them.
Yeah.
Some of them
Yeah.
don't want to face that.
Well, I don't have that much energy to waste, man. To be honest with you, I don't have that much energy. You know what I mean? Like to do the back and forth or the multiple situation and so on. Yeah, I don't know. I'm loyal, so I'm telling you now. If I cheated on you, it must be some shit. It must be some shit you done
Oh,
did for me
it
to
was it was
cheat.
their fault, huh?
It was their fault. My action, their fault. Oh, man, my action, their fault. I can count on my finger how many women I've been with, man. Like I'm a nice guy. Not the NICE, the NYCE.
But some people that cheat is not necessarily bad people. It's just they don't know that one person is not enough. They don't know they're not secure with themselves yet.
It was a period break, Rich. She was on her red light, and he's like, "Yo, the car is not moving. It's in one spot. So let me go. Let me go with somebody that's green." Jokes, jokes. I kid. I kid. I kid. Oh man. Oh man.
And you try to cover up. See that's when you got the hidden motives. You know, that's when you start talking like a pimp. We talked about that last night, talking like a pimp, right?
Hey man, I had my fish tank shoes on with my fedora with the cotton cape on, some Dolomite.
When you start trying to cover it up what you are, instead of facing it, and you cheating on this girl, blaming it on her, and she catching you, and she's a good girl, that pimp comes out. Like we talked about last night. Like you tell a religious person that's not what the Bible says this, but you're doing the other, and then it's like, well, it's just about faith. God is gonna work it out. That pimp stuff comes out. Yeah, I fucked her, but I make love to you. Like, excuse me. All of these different type of answers that you escape the issue with. Okay, yeah, I doubt this, but you can't doubt it. So they say you just believe, and that's an escape. But these relationships are good because it really shows the real you. Because you have to be a relationship. Both people have to show action if they friends, and you can say you're a great friend, but the relationship or the friendship is going to show what you actually are. You know what's actually going on is the truth of the relationship, whether it's friends or love or teammates or the actual action is is the truth of the relationship. And I had to face a lot of that. I really thought I was ready for a lot of stuff. I thought on paper I was great, but in the action of it, that's the beautiful thing about relationship. Relationships expose what you really are. It
you
really
you
does.
you had a great credit score. You look good on paper, but you don't stack up in real life. Talk to me.
I mean, on paper, I was awesome. And then I looked at myself in the relationships. I was like, man, that's, you know, That's not what it is. But it shows. I mean, the relationship exposes everything, even the stuff you're trying to hide. By me being a musician, that really comes out. If you're a musician, whether you play piano or saxophone, drums or whatever, it's going to expose the type person you are. It got to the point to where you could tell how a musician plays just the way they open and carry their instrument, how dedicated they are, or in anything. I mean, it expose, you know, what you really are. And some people, uh, they great at practicing, but on stage they're not so great because some people is just not crowd people. Doesn't mean they not good musicians, but it's a different energy. It's a deep thing.
Let's talk about that proudness. What do you mean, not proud people? Expound upon that, King.
You said proud?
Yeah, that's the word you just used. What do you mean not some people are
No,
just not proud people?
no, no. Crowd, See,
Oh,
not
oh,
yeah. Some
I'm hearing
people are.
things.
Yeah, the crowd. The crowd changes things. You know.
Oh, crowd. Okay,
Yeah,
got you. Thought you said proud. My bad.
yeah. See the energy of people changes things. I mean, you could be great practicing or in your, but then you have to do it in front of a big crowd. Some people are great talkers, but they're not great talkers in front of a crowd. You know, or like when used to box. You'd be great in the gym.
You had hands, Rich? You had
It's
hands?
now my brother was a championship boxer, so I was like, well, he can do it, I can do it. Wrong.
Yeah, I'm like, we could spar sometime, man. I have a little hands.
I started late when I moved to Vegas, you know, but it
Had a
was great.
brethren
But
that used to that used to teach me a little bit.
huh?
I had a brethren that used to teach me a little bit. I got a little survival skills.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, man. But when it comes fight time and you got the crowd out there,
Oh, I
and
still go to work.
yeah, a lot of people don't have it like that. It's like the lights and all the crowd, stage fright, what they call it.
Man, that used to be the remember those moments, King. I remember those moments on stage, forgetting your lyric, your heart beating, butterflies in your stomach. You're trying to lip sync and not flowing with the crowd. You mad stiff, standing on one part of the stage. I know what you're talking about. But oh man, I know what you're talking about. The song's dope though. The song's dope, but you you ain't shit.
Yeah, because I was before I really hit the stage for real. Whether it was whether it was well, in music is most of my experience. Other stuff I just played around with. But when you at home practicing and you got the song and you got the show, you working on a show, and man, it's cool. But you come to the big crowd, man, you don't expect people yell, "You ain't nothing."
You're like,
The
wait, what?
hecklers,
Who, me? What? That shit stops you in your track, doesn't it? You're like, wait a minute. You want to
you
go
know,
down there and cuss them out? You forgot you performing?
you don't get the hecklers when you at rehearsal, do you?
Nah, you think you the ish. There's no pressure then.
What's that bullshit you doing, man? Put the real act on.
Like, son, how you forgot your own words? You wrote it, right? You practiced before you came here, huh? You need more mirror time.
This ain't the main event, right? This ain't the main event, right? Y'all go get some popcorn. This is the popcorn event.
but we spoke about friends. Let's touch bases on the enemies, because one of my favorite books, 48 Laws of Power, stated that um you should turn your friends into enemies, because them being an enemy, they work harder for your respect versus a friend that feel like they're entitled because they're a friend. So not only do they take the friendship for granted, right? But they feel
Yeah.
like they have the passcode to everything that you have. They keep taking and taking. What do you say
Yeah.
about that?
I never was a big fan, or well, I won't say fan, but I never liked methods and formulas when it comes to friends and love and relationships because they be
Asia
trying to.
Tim.
Hello. Yeah, I never
Good.
been a fan of let me do this and see what they'll do. Let me say this and see what they'll say. I always tell people to start with being secure with yourself and being being secure with yourself, knowing your heart, knowing where the voices are coming from within you. See, I don't pray, I meditate, and I live this holistic life. And ever since I've been doing that, I never think about the other person or try to test them or try to see. I let the relationship tell me what it is, and it will. And the voices inside of you are correct about it, and the feelings and the voices and the senses are correct. Um, uh, I don't really look at life as setbacks or mistakes or even lessons. Uh, I just stay in the light of my element, and what gravitates towards me, I learn from. I don't try to dictate it either. Like you got to be in my zone to be with me. No, I, I think we should look at relationships as something. You know, see what is look at what is showing you instead of you trying to make people fit into your thing. They can show you something you never even thought of, and you can see the beauty in it. And you'd be like, and then you'll be like, oh, it's me. I'm the one that should be better in this relationship.
But wait, why would you want somebody to flow off your energy or flow with your energy or be like you? I don't think
That's
I
what I'm.
could
No,
I could stand
that's what
myself.
I'm. No, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I don't expect anything. I mean, let the relationship tell you.
No, no,
And the relationship.
that was for the people. That was a
Oh,
general statement. That
oh,
wasn't for you. I know
oh,
what you're saying. You know,
yeah.
because picture you, um, having you outside of you, talking to you 24/7, and you say something, and then the you said, "Why, Rich?" And you said awareness, and the you said, "Why though?" What does awareness show you? How would you feel about that? So, a lot of us talk about I wish there was more of me, and that's a damn lie. you know, like you
But
said, King, you got to be grateful for what other people have to offer, when they offer it, how they offer it, and just respect them for them. You know,
yeah, you
greetings.
gotta let that relationship. You
Greetings.
you gotta let that relationship tell you. I think I tell the young people don't, and it's the toughest thing to do when you're young because you want people to fit into your definition of friendship and what love is. You know, but the relationship is gonna tell you. But it's a lot of women I talk to, and I'm like, why are you dealing with this guy? It's like, well, he is the father of my children, and we are engaged, and we are this. I said, yeah, but that's just words. But his action is not engagement. His action is, see, they're so caught up in the image of how they want it, they can't see it of how it is. They can't see what it is. And it's the same way with friendships and people you in love with. You're so caught up in the image that you want for that relationship, you can't see what it is.
Oh, let's talk about the ones that think you're their property or you're the pocketbook, where where if they don't like somebody who even though you don't have an issue with the same person they don't like, they want you to have a they want you to have an issue with that person just because they have an issue with that person. Talk about them.
Oh, that's the insecurity stuff. That's why I say you got to be secure. When it comes to friends and love, like I say, those words it's three words. And the people that know me, they know my three words that's so abused they almost lost its meaning. And that's love, friendship, and meditation. You have to be secure in all of those three. If you're insecure in love and friendship and meditation, you will never see it.
Okay. Hey, Shanae.
Hello,
Greetings, Queen. Um,
greetings.
so have you ever had friends that turn enemies, enemies that turn friends, stories you would like to share?
Absolutely. However, I will say one of the stories I have is when an enemy turned into a friend. And of course, it started in the foundation over a guy. And so this woman had a problem with me due to I was with a guy who she also wanted to be with as well. And eventually it led up to a physical altercation. And what
Spicy.
what ended up happening is it wasn't on my part. Okay, I
Got
did
your
my
ass beat?
best to what was that?
Got your ass kicked?
No, actually they got theirs kicked. And so with
Spicy.
after that,
Agitating. Hey,
so
agitating.
right,
You go
right.
right.
So what ended up happening is so this person, they would always call me to the carpet. I would say, no, listen, I'm not into that type of thing. Let's just leave it alone. Until one day they actually put their hands on me, which I won the fight. And afterwards, this person became my friend. I would see them sometimes, and then, somewhere they would buy me a drink. This was the same female who wanted to rip my head off, but once I ripped hers off, it was like a level of respect she had for me going forward.
Yeah, she was like, I
So
gotta be friends with her. I want my ass whooped again. That's the ass whooping, huh? Ugh.
so that's one instinct where an enemy became a friend. Another is respect levels. I think a lot of times, well, not think, a lot of times people want to, when they're intimidated by the person you may be, they build up a disliking for you until you reach that level where they respect you. Now they can friend you, if that makes any sense. So I've been in that situation as well, where a person just they didn't know you, but they choose like, yeah, I don't like that person. I don't like her vibe, but they've never had a conversation with you. However, once they sit down and have an actual conversation with you, it's like, oh, okay, I think I like this person. Now we can be friends. So judgment is a lot of judgment around those types of things as well.
Oh, so that's how you got all your friends? You just whoop their ass?
No, Rich. That's not. Not I just whoop they. Well, no. However, Rich, if somebody comes in too close into your energy circle, and they're attempting
Oh
to
yeah.
throw you off balance, you need to balance that situation, right?
So you got this long cane, you'd be like, cross that line.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember this. There was a saying: everybody put their hand out. If who mama wear panties, you hit the wrong person hand. That was the fight.
Oh, here you go,
Damn,
man.
I think I'm too young for those quotes.
Rich isn't.
Oh
Whoa.
no, baddest man hit my hand, and then you hit the. Oh, they just hit you.
They just hit you. Yeah. Oh, she hit you. What you gonna do about that? Mm-hmm.
Wow. I don't know, but I think my energy and the way I carry myself automatically people like perceive that to be me for no reason. And I be the nicest king anybody can meet. But he's tall and he's too serious. I remember on one of the job, like I had to have a conversation with a manager. Like I'm like, I don't hang out with you, or we don't go to bars and drink together. You not my friend. What do you mean? What do you mean? I'm bitching and complaining. Do I ever come to you and complain about anything? When my joint is on the truck and I go knock it out and come back, do I ever see you? But it's sometimes it's reverse admiration where it's like they want you to kiss their ass. And if you're a stand-up guy, automatically, queen, like you just said, they just have issues with you. So sometimes you have to like you gotta check them then and there because they might have you, screwed up. And I have checked a few people, but my energy, man, like my energy, it doesn't tolerate BS. So certain people automatically have that mentality, like, yo, there's something about him I don't like. And me, like, who gives a shit? I don't care. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, what I've noticed is a lot of times people think I don't like them, and it's not true. I'm just not a person to be quick to um, be in a person's face. I don't require attention from everyone. So a lot of people will take it as, oh, she doesn't like me. No, it's not that. I don't know you.
when you're doing this, when you walk in the room, you're really observing that you're testing the energy in the room, right? And they're just creating
Right.
these false narratives in their head. Yeah, I know. I'm great at that.
And I had a sister at one time say, I thought you didn't like me when you met me. You weren't really talking to me or saying anything. And I had to explain to that sister later on, we actually became really close associates. And had to explain to her why I was with another sister. And, I know different people different deal differently in front of other people. So no, it wasn't that I didn't like you. I was watching your energy and her energy during the whole conversation. It had nothing to do with not liking you. I'm just not per se a fake person. Just because I'm meeting someone new, I'm not going to be happy and smiling. That's just not who I am.
That's that insecurity issue Rich spoke about earlier.
Is this a question for both of you and anybody and everybody that's watching? Are any of you still friends with somebody you went to grammar school with?
Yes.
Grammar school?
Yes.
We ain't had grammar school in
What's
Jamaica.
the word for grammar school in Jamaica? King, what is it?
I don't think they went.
It's
We ain't
They
have
didn't
no
go to school.
we
They
ain't
didn't
have
go
no
to school.
man, Rich, if
they
you don't
yes they did, Rich. um
don't even let me get started on the educational
no,
system down there and why it's
it's
better than the one up here.
come on,
We
it's the academy, right, King? Is that what it was?
um
Is in Jamaica
it's
the
it's
academy?
called it's called primary school.
Primary school. That's right.
Primary school. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
It's
right.
like
That's
grammar
right.
school, like
The,
Americans with their words and sheesh.
the
Oh, now
single
we do.
digit.
Now we doing this American, non-American thing now. Okay.
Somebody keep telling me, "Oh, you're American too. Keep talking all that shit. You're a citizen, aren't you?" I'm like, "Yeah,
Ain't
you're
not a
American, so
citizen.
shut your ass up." I'm like, okay, whatever. No, no,
No.
no. I haven't been back in 20 something years, so no.
It might
No.
be time to go back and to
So
check
what?
everyone out.
Yo, 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 yo.
So you went to high school when you came. So you went straight to high. So you was in high school when you came to
Nah,
America, right?
I was in junior. I went to junior high in America in high school here.
Okay.
Never
So
went
are
to the
you friends
primary
with
school.
anybody from junior high?
From
Still
junior
friends?
high, hell no.
Hmm.
He said, because Jermaine used to probably fight everybody. That's why.
No, I mean, I had moments I got my ass kicked, and then in high school it was a different story.
Mm-hmm.
I try to. I'm the one to talk myself out of shit before I get into it, King. Like honestly, I had one fight in junior high school that really woke me up, and Fat Boy put hands on me. I was seeing stars when Fat Boy put hands on me, and I said never again, never again in a fight would I ever get hit first. That's when I started snuffing people for no reason.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So
there's awareness when it comes to fighting too.
I went to two different high schools. I went to one in the Bronx, the one in Brooklyn. I didn't really get into much. The last little incident, crazy ass brother came to the school with a. Not gonna say what he came to school with, but three of him and his friends came to the school. after I told somebody not to call them. But yeah, but I in high school I used to fight a lot, especially for my big brother. Man, he used to call me to fight people, and I'm like, all right, cool, no problem. I had a lot of anger in me, you know.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So
so that's the
yeah,
because the friendships that stand the test of time, the test of because from from like Jermaine said, you're a different person in middle school, in high school, in grammar school, and then you're another different person when it comes to college, and then post college, and then in the workplace. You go through all of these
Right.
things,
Right.
you go through all of these different phases in society, and for the person that stays friends after going through all of that, that's a real friend because they went through all of those phases. In the same way with being in love, or you've been married, or you seeing somebody, or all the stuff you've been through, and they've been there for you, and it's a deep thing. I think it's one of the most difficult things to do in society is to stay friends or to stay in love because there's so many tests. You be tested so many ways.
yeah. I don't like people question my friendship, especially if I'm loyal and I ride for you. Don't question my friendship, especially if I know you for years and I would do anything for you. Don't question my friendship.
Thought you was my friend.
And especially when I've known you for over a decade, and I show you where my loyalty lies, and then you switch because you got one or two people you just met and you feel like those people are more valuable.
Right.
But come on, are you crazy? But anyway, next topic, Rich. When I was in primary school, man, I don't know. I just had these girls, man, with like them girls are fast, boy.
Oh, that's why he had to leave Jamaica, Rich. He had to flee those girls.
Nah, that's
Yeah,
not what it is. No,
he
that's
was the
not what
first
it is.
person in primary school who got somebody pregnant.
Oh man, that probably would have been true if I'd have stayed down there.
He had to go. It was
but
time.
but yeah, man. Certain things, man. It's like certain things I've learned up here, man. They didn't play. They didn't play where I'm from, honestly. Like, and friendship was whatever. You get in trouble together, like as friends, because you either skip school together, you go swimming at the canal, or you go catch fish or whatever. You go do some shit you're not supposed to do and got your ass beat when you when you came back, or whatever. But yeah, it was fun, man. But now I don't think people know what friendship is because most people are cutthroats.
Right.
You know, but you still gotta love them. Like, I don't care who you are, if you're a rat, a snake, if you take me for granted, I gotta remain Jermaine. I'm not gonna judge you. I'm gonna remain Jermaine. I will still aim to help you no matter what because that's in my DNA. Like I was bred this way. You know, Queen, the feminine energy blew breath in me and made me that way.
I think another thing people got to look at too, what makes a friendship?
How do you
You know,
grade that? You
That's a
got a
good
checklist?
question.
what makes a friendship? And I think awareness again. You have to be aware uh, of what makes the action of a friendship. A lot of times people will say, "I thought you was my friend, man. I asked you for that money, and you give me the story and blah blah blah." But I think an action of a friendship too is instead of calling a friend asking them for money, what about a friend? How many people have gotten a phone call and people ask them what they need, and it's not a tragedy, and it's not an SOS. It's just like you call somebody to talk about the game. You call somebody, hey, you need anything? You good? You good? You good on your bills? Whatever. People are like, oh hell no, I ain't. That don't sound like no friend. That's like a fool. No, but, but really, let the friend. The action of a friendship is almost the action of like it's like family. It sounds like something
Definitely.
wrong. It sounds like something wrong with you. Can I help? Even if I can't help, I'm gonna ask for help, or I'm gonna help the best way I can. It's like being on a court. Like if you're playing basketball or being on stage, you know who's hustling and who's not, right? I mean, in your workplace, Shanae, you know who's working and who's not, right?
Absolutely.
It's the same way with friends, but you have to be aware of what needs to be done. See, a friend is going to treat you like a friend. A friend is going to treat you. They're going to pay attention. To answer that question is the attention that somebody gives you. Because when you care about somebody, you pay attention to the details, right? It's detail. You pay attention to the detail of things when you care. And when somebody cares about you, you'd be like, man, they noticed something I didn't notice.
I had a question, man. What's up with these damn avatars on Facebook?
I've seen those. Yeah.
It's just random. Like everybody has one. Like, what is it significant? Like, first it was TikTok, now it's these avatars. Like, what's up? What's going on? Shay, what's up? Like, and I'm like, that's the new norm now. Like, every man, whatever. All right. Friends
Right.
are enemies, enemies, friends. Friends are enemies, enemies, friends. Man, yo, in Jamaica, we were like, yo, them some fala fashion, yo. Oh
What
man,
the avatars, right.
fala fashion.
I see more and more of those. You seeing more and more of those, right?
Yeah, and as soon as I see that, I just click away from it. I'm like, I'm not doing that shit.
That's the same thing I said when I seen the first cell phone.
What, the little flip one
Yeah.
with the
No,
speaker on
yeah,
the outside?
no, it was big. They were the big ones, man. I'm talking about the cell phone was big as a house phone.
Oh, with the Duracell battery? You talking about the one that was cut out like an ear
It looked like a
with the big
walkie-talkie.
pole with the. Oh man, that is funny. Yo.
I
That
seen the
is
guy walking in the supermarket on the phone. I was like, look at this idiot.
funny. You had one too, didn't you? Thought you was doing something, didn't you?
It's like this guy walking around in the supermarket with it on the phone.
You know what I didn't get? I didn't understand I didn't understand what you call it? The pagers. What was the point of a pager?
Oh, that was the first, to get us into the gadgets.
What was the sense of the pager? Like, were you able to send messages or just a number? You just somebody you know what number beeping you, and you just call them back. I never grasped the concept of a pager.
I remember when I was in New York, the only people that had the pagers was the drug dealers, you know. And then it got became fashionable. Seemed like everybody started getting pagers.
It was like phones, right? Like some
Yeah,
dude had like six on their
yeah.
waist. Like they had like six different numbers.
It's the beginning of the gadgets, man. It's the beginning of the chips,
Oh man, you lose your friend
And
over some
people,
chip too, right?
oh man, they walk in the club and then they go check their pager. And they make sure everybody's seen it too. You know what I'm saying?
What did that mean? That meant they had bread? What did that mean?
No, it was just one of them false sense of powers, give them confidence. The end thing to do. The pager, yeah, the pager, yeah. Then the cell phone came out. And then when I got the cell phone, the cell phone came out to where you push the button on the screen. I was like, man, that's some bull, man. I like pressing my numbers on. I ain't gonna never get no screen stuff.
Yo, yo, man. I say I want to get my kids a phone. I mean, even though they have a phone now, so I could talk to them, but I'm really considering it because this shit's kind of addictive.
Oh, and that kind of it is.
Right, kinda is an understatement.
It's like you gotta
Kind
force. It's
of.
like you gotta force to sleep that shit outside. Like make sure that shit is like downstairs somewhere. Get an alarm clock. That shit is right next to you. First thing you're touching when you wake up, like your email. Like who texts me? Huh? Dopamine. It's dopamine. It's good. Yeah, text me some more. Like what the fuck?
Oh my.
Like I want a female to lay down and rub up, man. Like I want a female to be my cell phone. How about that?
Well, you can still do that.
Did I say that out loud?
Now the phones is lighting up. The phones is lighting up now.
I remember I told a friend of mine like, oh, you can't be. I told a female this. I'm like, yo, you can't do without your phone. How about just go ahead and put it between your legs and put it on vibrate?
Oh no.
Because I haven't seen you in a minute, but every time you come through, it's like you're on your phone. And I'm pulling it away like, yo, fam, what's up? You addicted to your phone? Turn around and be like, but you're on your phone too. I'm like, where? Shit is ridiculous, man.
I'd be scared to death with you. I mean, I'll tell. I would tell the kids. I wouldn't let my kids watch TV until they learned how to read. I wouldn't let my kids. I don't have kids, but if I did, I would do that. I wouldn't let them have anything unless they know what it is. Uh,
Wait,
that's
wait. Hey, man, you can't be my friend if you don't have a kid. You slacking. What you waiting on?
Hey man, it takes two. Still a virgin.
Walk outside, man. The house is about to go. Oh man. Oh man, that's
Find
funny.
out what it is. We know what we
That's
seriously got to
funny.
start the youth lives, man. We got to start talking to the youth
We intend to
on the lives.
in the first interview I really want to have. I want to interview my sons. I want to just chop it up with them for a second, see if I can hold their attention and see if they can have grown
How
up.
how young are they? It can't be too young because they're not gonna be able to.
Oh, Rich, trust and believe me. Trust and believe me. One is 6, the other is 7. But you're right. We gotta start talking to the youths. Maybe Shanae could have Miles come on here for an interview, see where his mind's at. He's around 12, right?
He's 12. He would definitely enjoy coming on for the interview.
Okay.
I,
Set
I
that up.
think I think that's a good age group. Uh, let's do 12. What's a good window? 11 to 15. No, that's a big gap from 11 years old to 15 when you're young. We got to have a 12-year-old gap, and then we do a 15-year-old like a high school live.
I should get him on here now and see. Nah,
I would. He's down the street playing basketball.
oh man, the fresh days of being a youth, not caring about nothing, just got except for the street lights.
Yep.
But Rich, go ahead and give us your summary, man. Friends or enemies?
Yeah, my summary is, three words that's so abused that they almost lost their meaning. And I say love, friend, and meditation. And you have to be secure and really look at the action of those words before you get into it, because you will never understand them. But the topic today with friends, how ask your question, ask the question, and answer the question: how thick or thin is the line between a friend becoming an enemy and an enemy becoming a friend? Because a friend can do something that you totally disagree with, and it could become an enemy. But a real friend can talk it out, and that won't happen. An enemy could do something unexpectedly that can become your friend. So we should be aware, have that awareness of looking beyond the surface, and look at a friend and an enemy as something in action. It's like when we started this live, I said, Jermaine asked me, what friend became an enemy to you and what enemy became a friend? And it was myself. I
Hmm.
was my own worst enemy. And then I fell in love with myself. So I think we have to start with ourselves, because if you can be a friend to yourself, a good friend, and treat yourself right and love yourself and secure with yourself, then you'd be secure with friends and enemies. You would know how to
True.
deal with both.
True.
Okay. Queen, you have anything for me?
I'm in total agreement with Rich. As I learned to love myself more, enemies would be in my presence and they didn't bother me. I knew they were an enemy. I could have a conversation with them. And I just knew what place they holder they had when it came to my energy. So, it's not hard. It wasn't hard to speak to them. It wasn't hard to be in the same room with them. It was easy. And yeah, Rich is correct in that. So that's pretty much what I'm sticking with as well. When you have a better understanding of self, enemies and friends are easy to deal with.
Okay, okay, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, be advised. If you would like to inquire about our consistent lives on Saturdays and Sundays, please feel free to reach me at King Jermaine on Facebook. Um, Send me a friend request and actually inquire about the Mental Rolodeck lives and join the group. On YouTube, like and subscribe at Mental Rolodeck. On Twitter, follow at Mental Rolodeck. On IG, follow at Mental Rolodeck. And solidarity, love, abundance, prosperity, and everything to all. And to all, a rechargeable night and a beautiful dawn. Peace.